Following the Republicans' poor performance in the midterm elections, the nails come out, and Representative Mo Brooks, who did not win his bid for the United States Senate, is speaking out against Donald Trump, blaming him for the massive Republican losses. He told AL.com, quote, "It would be a bad mistake for Republicans to have Donald Trump as their nominee in 2024. Look, let's just pause for a second, because there seems to be this disconnect among the Republican establishment, meaning political leaders within the Republican Party, versus the Republican base, meaning the voters. It's not that the establishment gets to choose who the Republican nominee is. It's up to the voters to make that decision. So I just want to make that clear, because it seems like the way Republican politicians have been talking about the possibility of Trump being a nominee in 2024 is like, we got to put a stop to it. Well, you can't put a stop to it. Let me give you the rest of his comment. He says, quote, "Donald Trump has proven himself to be dishonest, disloyal, incompetent, crude, and a lot of other things that alienate so many independents and Republicans. Even a candidate who campaigns from his basement can beat him," he claims. Now remember, Mo Brooks was a Trump loyalist. He gave a speech right before Trump's rally on January 6th. He repeated some of the election lies that Trump was spewing following the 2020 presidential election. But later, when Trump asked Mo Brooks to get more involved in overturning the results of the election, Brooks wanted the country to move on. That's when Trump kind of lost his love for Brooks. And at that point, Donald Trump decided to snatch his endorsement of Mo Brooks in his Senate bid away from him. And I don't know how much of a difference it made, but as you can tell, Brooks has lost his bid for the United States Senate. Now, earlier this year, Brooks said Trump had been asking him to rescind the 2020 election results, remove Biden from office and return him to power, meaning return Trump to power. Brooks said he told Trump that no provision in the Constitution would allow that. Trump threw a fit and withdrew his endorsement, claiming the far-right lawmaker had gone woke.
Okay, so Mo Brooks is a really interesting cat.
Is he?
So Lauren Windsor got taped one of his campaign stops where he explained in great detail, and actually explained it perfectly, how corruption in DC works. And he explained how you have to have about $1 million from a corporation to buy a chairmanship in the House and the Senate. And then you owe that corporation and you must give whatever they want. And he literally said it's a quid pro quo. I've never seen a better explanation of bribery and corruption in America than what Mo Brooks gave. But the funny thing about Mo Brooks is he's only honest when it's the last resort. He gave that speech at a campaign event when Trump had already pulled his endorsement and Mo Brooks's numbers had then nosedived. And it did make a difference. There's no question it made a difference. And Tommy Tuberville had taken the lead. And then when Mo Brooks started being honest and giving speeches like that, he actually climbed back up and got competitive and barely lost, okay? Without Trump, interestingly. And here, up until Trump asked him to rescind the election, which is not a thing, he was kissing Trump's ass 24/7. Oh, Trump is the best, Trump is great, let's start a revolution for him, let's go to the Capitol, let's destroy democracy, who cares, let's burn it all down. And then all of a sudden, Trump asked him for a thing that he literally physically cannot do, it's impossible. And he says, I'm sorry that, Mr. President, I can't fly, I wish I could, but I have no wings. And Trump's like, that's it, you're woke. And then at that point, Mo Brooks turns to honesty again and says, oh, he's crude, disloyal, dishonest, and incompetent. But Mo, you already knew all that. You were just lying about it before.
I've got no love for Mo Brooks, obviously no love for Trump. I think they're both trash, just keeping it real. Mo Brooks had no problem enabling Donald Trump when he felt that it was suitable for him and his political career. And now that he's got nothing to lose, oh wow, look at Mo Brooks being super honest about what he really feels toward Donald Trump. It's gross. And remember, when Mo Brooks was campaigning, even after Trump snatched that endorsement from him, he was pretending like Trump still endorsed him, right? Like that they were still buddies.
Yep.
I mean, why were you so desperate to latch onto that endorsement to a guy that you just described as crude, as dishonest, disloyal, incompetent? I mean, it seemed like you wanted that endorsement from an incompetent buffoon so badly, Mo Brooks. And this is the problem I have with politicians, not just Republican politicians. I see this on both sides of the aisle. Self-interested, narcissistic egomaniacs who couldn't care less about their constituents. They only care about political power so they can enrich themselves. So I'm glad Mo Brooks lost. He deserved it. And I'm glad Donald Trump lost. He certainly deserved it.
100%. And the last thing is, Trump's such a dum-dum. There is no such thing as rescinding an election. It's not a thing that even exists. It's like, hey, you can say Mike Pence had a ceremonial role, and so he can't actually say Donald Trump won like Donald Trump wanted him to. But at least he had a role where he gavelled something in, and he could have said a bunch of lies and confused people. So there was like a quarter of a process for that. For rescinding an election, that's not in any law, it's not in the Constitution. Even if you wanted to, how would you do it? Because it doesn't exist. But he's so stupid that he doesn't realize that. He doesn't realize you need a law to be able to do something like that. Guys, do you understand how pathetic that is? And then he gets mad at Mo Brooks and throws him under a bus, even though Mo Brooks was one of his top allies. He gave a speech on January 6th. And he told people to go to the Capitol. It doesn't get any more of an ally than Mo Brooks. And he's like, because you won't do a thing that doesn't exist, I'm gonna call you woke now. I'm gonna take back my endorsement. Just one of the dumbest people that has existed in the United States of America.
My read on it's a little bit different, Cenk. When has a law or a lack of law stopped him before?
No,
right?
Anna,
it's not
I hear
about being
you.
stupid. He knows.
No, it's both. Because he knows that what he's asking to do is wrong.
No, he knows that for
right,
sure.
and because he told Mike Pence, you're too honest. So he knows he's lying, etc. But Anna, if you wanted Mo Brooks and the others to put you back into the White House, despite the laws, despite the Constitution, etc., you'd have to come up with a plan. You'd have to say, do X, then Y, then Z. Maybe it's tanks, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But you can't just say like, put me back in and not tell them how, and it doesn't exist, and then get mad at them for doing a thing they literally cannot do. So he's like, it's like saying, hey, Mo Brooks, why don't you press the nuclear button?
I know, Cenk,
but he doesn't have access to the nuclear button.
You're thinking about this from the mindset of someone who didn't have a silver spoon shoved down his throat his entire life, okay? So he's used to telling people to do the impossible for him, they carry it out, and he's furious that for the first time in his life, people told him no. And so that's the reaction that you're seeing from Trump when he has all this backlash toward people who have been loyalists to him since day one.